Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is a special ride for me because today is gonna be my first ride to Penang and my furthest ride ever in my motorcycle. So it's gonna be a very exciting ride for me as I plan for the trip. Alright, before I continue, I just want to let you know I record this video during the post editing because my GoPro camera unable to pick up when I was riding because I do not have the proper mic. Anyway, I just want to share to you my experience riding to Penang and what are some of the things you look at, and also for the Royal Enfield Interceptor, I want to just give a little bit of review of the bike performance during the trip and also some of the pros and cons of this bike during the trip. So okay, I left home about 8 o'clock in the morning, going to Ipoh. So I took the north-south highway. This is the main highway for Malaysia, and if you are not familiar, you can just Google it. This is the highway that links all the most of the west side of the town in Malaysia. All right. So starting off in Shah Alam, I headed straight to Ipoh. All right. The road is pretty straightforward lah. There's no turning left and right. It's a highway. Okay, so let's talk about the motorcycle. I think the bike was performing quite well in the morning. The ride was quite smooth, and just on the highway, I think the tires are a bit wobbly because when I go at the high speed, it tends to shake. All right, because I think the tire is not suitable for going fast, and especially going on the white lines, you become even worse. You start wobble quite badly, so you have to be very careful when riding this. Okay, so the next thing I noticed that about this bike is when you are sitting at this bike, you are on the upright position. Alright, so when you're upright position, the wind resistance is pretty strong. You can push your body back and you will struggle to go at the speed that you wanted. So yes, better that you install a windshield in order for you to reach at your optimum speed lah. Otherwise, you will struggle, especially when the wind is blowing hard at your body. Alright, so this is something that I noticed when riding this bike. So okay guys, we have finally reached Perak border. So Perak is one of the state in Malaysia. So this Ipoh is actually the capital city of Perak. So yes, there's a lot of things happening in Ipoh. If you want to have good food, you can go there. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for lunch later. Okay, but first I want to take a break, stopping at the rest area because my body start to ache. I think I need some stretching of my body. So usually what I do is I will stop at the rest area and park my bike and do some stretching, walking around and checking my phones and all that. Right. So let's find a spot to stop. Okay, here seems to be like a very good spot. So I choose here to stop, and because there's some shade and all that. Make sure there's a safe place, no traffic, heavy traffic or heavy lorry, right? So yeah, then I stop lah. Okay, hello, good morning. Today I'm going to ride to Penang. Right, so now I'm stopping at Tapa to have my rest because of a long journey. Okay, the bus is coming. So I'm going to go to Ipoh and to have my breakfast. Maybe I want to try the white coffee. So let's go and see what they have there. Okay, so technically I'm already in Perak, so it takes a while for me to reach to Ipoh. I think another 2 hours to reach there. So yeah, while riding, so I just enjoy the view lah. See the greenery, especially the cloud was so beautiful. And sometimes you have to look up to see things around you lah. Don't just ride your motorbike and look at your meter only lah. Okay. So when you ride your motorbike, try to be alert, left and right, and see what's happening around you. Alright, so you can see actually the scenes. You can see the hills on the left hand side. It's quite beautiful actually when you're riding there. Okay, so while riding to Ipoh, the weather is really hot. So but when you're cruising at the speed, you don't feel the heat because of the wind blowing. So that is fine. Especially when you wear your gear and your full face, I think it's okay lah, not too bad. Because my jacket is a mesh type, so I can feel the air blowing into my body. So it's best to get a mesh jacket in the tropical weather. Finally, I have reached Ipoh after about 3 hours of riding my motorbike. Finally reached Ipoh town. Okay, the traffic is a bit jam because I think today's holiday and everybody is coming down to Ipoh, but not too bad, not too crowded. All right, so I'm going to the coffee place that I told you earlier. It's just around this corner, at the end there. So yeah, so you can see Ipoh. There are a lot of colonial buildings, old buildings that you can see. Quite interesting lah, the landmark, the architecture and all that. Okay, after parking my motorbike, yeah, this is the coffee shop that's most popular in Ipoh. Their white coffee is very good, but I decided to go for this one because the other one is too crowded. So I had some chichopan and some white coffee and some fishball and soup and all that. Okay, so the food here, everything is good lah. So you actually can go anywhere in Ipoh, the food is also good, no problem. So I'm not too fancy about going into all these popular places lah. So I'd rather go to all these small places with good food. So okay, time to head back to the highway and on the way to Penang. Okay, the weather doesn't look too good. Looks like it's going to rain. As you can see the dark cloud. I guess I have to embrace myself for a rainy weather later. Okay, now we are heading to the Manora Tunnel. Okay, this is a highway tunnel in Perak. It is about 800-meter tunnel from on the North-South Express on the northern side near Jelapang. Okay, so this Manora Tunnel was officially opened in 1986. So this is a pretty old tunnel. Alright, so this tunnel is actually two direction and running side by side. Alright, so it's quite beautiful to ride inside this tunnel. Alright, so we are right at the end of the tunnel already. I can see the light coming out. Alright, cool. Okay, after coming out from the tunnel, I think it started to rain. But the rain is not too heavy, still manageable. I still can ride my bike. But my jeans are all wet. Okay, I didn't want to stop because I just want to continue my journey to Penang. Okay, the weather in Malaysia can be very weird. 1 minute it was raining, and the next it was really hot sun. Okay. Anyway, we almost reached to Penang already, and we already crossed the border of Kedah. We have to pass by Kedah in order to enter into Penang lah. Okay, so yeah, so I'm just taking my ride down to the highway, and you can see there Georgetown. All right, when you go into the Penang Bridge, you make sure that you are in the right lane. Otherwise, you will end up straight to a different city. Right, so look at the signboard say Georgetown and look at the bridge. And actually, I'm going into the first bridge because I'm going to Georgetown. Usually, when I go to Georgetown, he will point the Waze will take me or the Google Map will take me to the first bridge. Okay, so keep to your lane and just follow this road all the way to the toll. All right, so once you reach the toll for motorbike, make sure you keep to your left, far left. There's a motorbike lane that you can go into. Later, I will show you. It's better that you slow down when you reach at this location. Okay, careful lah, don't enter the wrong lane. Yeah, this is the motorbike lane. Follow the red color road. Right. Okay, so slow down the bike and now just slowly go to the toll lah. As you can see, the motorbike lane is quite wide compared to the other lanes in the other highways. Alright, because in the morning the traffic is very heavy here. That's the reason why the road is wider. I think one car also can go in. Okay. Okay, you are passed by the toll. Okay, for motorbike, you don't have to pay any tolls. You can just ride straight into the bridge. Okay, this is a privilege for motorcyclists, which motorist doesn't have. Okay, so now we are riding to the bridge, passing by the toll already. Okay, another hump here. Okay, just look to your right, make sure there's no car, right? Don't just straight go out. You have to make sure there's no car, then come out to the lane. And okay, now we are already on the bridge road to go into the highway. Okay, so now we are entering into the Penang Bridge. Okay, be careful with the cars and all that because the road is a bit narrow, even though it's 3 lane. And for motorcyclists, always remember to keep on your left lane. All right, and you're supposed to move. You're supposed to ride on the motorbike, so-called motorbike lane, which is very narrow lah. But try to manage and make sure that you don't go in the second or the fast lane. All right, always keep in your this lane, okay? Otherwise, you might get a trouble with the authority. Okay, since we are on the bridge, let me share with you a little bit more about the bridge. Right, this is the first Penang bridge, which was opened in 1985, and the length of this bridge is about 13.5 kilometer, and of that, 8.4 kilometer is over waters. Okay, so that's a little bit background of the first Penang bridge. Okay, so actually to enter Penang, there's another bridge, the second Penang bridge, which is called the Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah Bridge. Right, you can also enter Penang via that bridge, but in order for us to go Georgetown, usually it's faster to go via the first Penang Bridge because he will lead you directly to the not directly, but he will lead you to Georgetown, which is way nearer. Okay, so if you want to be a little bit more adventurous, there's another option. Actually, you can use the Penang ferry. Right, there's a ferry going over to Penang and coming back from Penang to the mainland. All right, so I didn't take at this time because the Penang ferry was closed at the moment. I think it should be open another couple of weeks lah. So okay, we are almost reaching at the end of the bridge. All right, it's coming down. The road is coming down, so you can see it's quite actually a very beautiful scenery when you can see the cloud over there and you can see the water on your left and right. Okay, so yeah, I'm just enjoying the ride with the breeze and all that. It's really enjoyable ride. So after I cross the bridge and I also go through the highway, now I have reached Georgetown. Right, this is the quite a busy area for tourists. Georgetown is quite popular. You can do a lot of things here. So now I'm looking for my hotel and I'm driving there using my Google Map. So let me find my hotel. Yeah, this is the one. This is the hotel that I'm going to stay for the night. It's a very cozy hotel, small, and it's also in the middle of Georgetown, so easy for me to walk around here. Okay, so this is my hotel room. This is my room number. Let's go inside and have a look lah. Okay, this is my cozy little room, and I only got one bed because I'm alone riding here. And the toilet is very clean, as you can see. Everything is good enough for me to spend the night.